Hey guys, Camper15 back at it with another video for you guys, back with another episode or somewhat episodes review of ReZero. To be honest, it's kind of morally been that of a, I guess this video is going to be morally that of a recap about, some, interesting points to be mentioned and mostly talking about stuff from the previous week going into this week's upcoming episode. So yes, apologies for being lackadaisical and lazy on getting reviews out, but I hope to be more consistent going forward from this point on. But realistically, I'm only going to be talking about certain major points. Well, some major points and things like that with what's, going on and stuff like that, that we've already seen, and things like that. So I think number one, the most obvious fact and the most obvious thing that was kind of important, since the last time I talked about ReZero is the last episode I reviewed. You had it to where Shala ended up actually like confronting Subaru, and we Shala is an interesting character from the standpoint. She's one of the heroes, I guess, one of these super strong heroes. And we also do find out it was actually her that was firing off the attacks when they were trying to get to the tower. And mostly it's because she was given orders from her master, to basically keep the tower safe and make sure that nobody was entering the tower. Now apparently Subaru is her master. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean, but the fact that Subaru is apparently this chick's master, I have no clue. I don't know. Maybe Subaru looks, or her master looks like Subaru, and that's what she's misconstruing him to be. I don't know. Apparently she's lived for a super long life, albeit she looks human. And again, the fact that she has somewhat a similar color palette in terms of the clothes, to Subaru's clothes, I don't know. Could she have been reincarnated just like Subaru was? I don't know. But apparently, Subaru is her master, and that's the thing. Also, apparently, she is in massive love with Subaru. Albeit Subaru wants nothing to do with that. I listen, she's pretty thick. I wouldn't blame her if she wants to smash, but there's that. But anyways, Subaru at one point in the episode when we first met her does say like, any of my allies, don't attack, and she's like, all right, cool. So I don't know if I don't know. Some of the allies might be somebody to do with the witch's cult, but I guess we'll see as it goes on. So there was that one interesting thing. The other interesting thing was the fact that in order to get whatever they needed to get to, or acquire what they want to acquire, they have to go through these trials. So I thought the first trial was pretty cool, where basically Subaru was the only one to figure it out because of constellations from his world. So very much it's clear that this tower must have been implemented in these tests, must have been implemented from somebody from Subaru's world that more than likely got reincarnated. But I thought that was a pretty cool thing there. Also, too, I thought I enjoyed getting the backstory about the witch of, I believe, Pride. I forgot her name, but when Subaru basically saw these memories and shit like that, he knew, oh fuck, this is one of the fucking witches, right? So there's that, right, to say the least. It was absolutely crazy to see the backstory of how it was just an innocent girl, and then once she was given the freaking powers, she started asking me like, hey, do you think what you did was right or wrong? And then obviously those people just broke down, and it's like, what in the blue hell is this? That was definitely a dark ass episode. So it was cool to see the witch of, the witch of Pride's backstory and how she became the witch and everything, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, but obviously the most talking point is has to do with last week's episode when they were actually going up against one of the the Sword Saints, which if correct me if I'm wrong, this dude is related to Reinhardt and his family, right? Because the red hair and things like that. Now, it was funny when we first met this guy. He looks at the girls and he's like, hot one, lolly, lolly, nothing to do with you, blah, 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 right? Crazy, but absolutely hilarious. So there's that. So Julius goes to confront this guy and he fights him, and he's actually struggling to fight him and he's struggling to lose him, or he's struggling to even beat him or put up a fight. So he's losing to this guy, right? He's losing to this dude. Now all of a sudden you had it to where Anastasia gets involved and she was like firing out magic absolutely crazy and berserk, like she was losing her mind. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. You know, I was watching the reviews and things like that. I don't know why she freaked out like that, and even the other reviewers don't know why she freaked out. Maybe it's the fact that with a kid inside Anastasia, she knows how much Julius means, or means to her. So she didn't want, him to maybe die. So then when Anastasia eventually comes back, Julius might be dead or something, and her heart's broken or something. So is that supposed to, implement, some sort of, maybe potential romance between Anastasia and Julius? I don't know. Also, too, we do see it where, like, at the end of the episode, when Subaru's trying to help Julius out, he doesn't want the help because he doesn't want Anastasia to see him. So is there a potential relationship, love between Julius and Anastasia, where yes, he is her knight, but at the same time there is a budding romance there? Maybe there is a chance. Maybe they do love each other like that. I guess it makes sense. They both got light purple hair, but that's my thing. But it was kind of thing. But like from that point, she was kind of out of commission because she can't really spam magic like that. So it then gets Amelia to join the fight. Or Amelia gets to fight, and the fight was actually solid, but Amelia wins in the most funny way. Like, this dude, obviously, he made a mention about Amelia being a freaking snack, which she is. This man legitimately is fighting, and also, too, in this fight against Julius, he pulls out fucking chopsticks. This dude was kicking Julius's ass with fucking chopsticks. It was absolutely crazy, to say the least, when chopsticks are being, used and you can't do anything. That's a whole nother excuse of absolutely embarrassment, right? So, anyways, going back to the Amelia fight, this man at some point he catches Amelia by surprise and he uses the chopsticks to fondle her boobs because obviously the anime has made Amelia's boob size grown. I see it all the time over Twitter of how, like, season 1 Amelia, she did not have that big of, like, boobs, right? And then by the time you get to like fucking season 3, it's like as if she's like grown within an inch. So has she been maturing? Or has she just been eating a lot of bread? I don't know. This is the reason why Orihime's boobs are humongous, and mostly people attribute to the fact that she ate bread a lot. Because at the start of Bleach, they weren't that big old bitties. And then by the time you get to where you're at in Thousand Year Blood War, the anime, shit, you get all the way to the freaking Arrancar arc, those things are dangin'. Anyways, enough of my Goonie, right? Amelia just like, okay. And then she slams a hammer on him. He's like, what the hell? You didn't feel anything? She's like, what are you talking about? Now, it's funny because Subaru is over here pissed off. Beatrice is trying to hold this man back. Oh my goodness, man. I love Amelia, but she's an innocent girl. She legitimately said, like, you touched me. Okay. At some point, somebody needs to get in the room with her, and they need to just explain the birds and the bees with her, because she is completely like tone deaf when it comes to stuff that is like sexual in any type of manner. So she's really gonna have to get, quote unquote, the birds and the bees talk. Yeah. Anyways. But regardless, she ends up passing, and we later find out that essentially, the other characters, if they want to pass, they gotta beat this guy too. So it gets to this point where Julius challenges this guy again, and he's still getting his butt kicked. But then, Subaru comes in to save him before he was about to get like a killing blow, and he's trying to help him down the stairs. And Julius isn't trying to have that help, but obviously Subaru is like, dude, don't be like this right now. Like, I'm trying to help you. Like, we're allies in this. We're comrades. So let me help you so you can help me. Because at the start of the episode, if you remember, Julius had a lack of respect for Subaru from the first season when he did his whole promotion about how he's Amelia's knight and everything, and how he made himself look like a fool and everything, right? And it kind of ties back to the whole thing, how Julius actually gets more of a respect for Subaru. Even if, in his eyes, Subaru can be an idiot sometimes, he does respect the fact that Subaru is who he is, and that's the character he is. So you do get that nice little bromance moment, but overall, it was a solid few episodes. ReZero's definitely been going crazy. And it's gonna be interesting to see where the series or where the season's gonna go going forward. But we'll definitely see as time goes on. But anyways, I'm gonna go for guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more ReZero content and things like that. But till then, guys, catch you guys in this video, and I will see you guys later. Peace.